Welcome everybody to another episode of Nitro Talks with, and today is a very special episode because we have Nathan from WSC Stage Creator. Dude, what's going on right now?
Not much, man. Just happy to be here. We're finally getting this done. How are you?
I'm great having you here on the channel, finally having you
Yeah.
here. So, Nathan, for to all the people that maybe don't know who is WSC, who, how can you explain to them?
Well, if we're talking about the channel in particular, WSC is basically I would say the premier place for WWE action figure matches on YouTube. It's a style that's not stop motion. It's not like picture by picture, which is a pic fed. It's you utilizing your hands to like maneuver the figures called vid fed. And yeah, it's just a very unique way of making action figure matches, telling stories with the figures and having a lot of fun with it.
Okay, well, your matches are amazing. The storytelling,
Thank you.
it's like a show. Like I'm really enjoying everything. But I want to know, like, how did you came with this idea to having just only one bell, a hardcore bell, doing only one match when everybody was making full shows of Pigfest, sorry. So how did
Yeah.
you came with this different idea? Tell me.
Yeah, so when I was starting out making the action figure matches, I obviously didn't start with WSC in general. So I was doing like WWE prediction matches and my own kind of fantasy matches. And I was thinking, what could we do to have regular matches instead of just copying WWE and doing prediction matches and all that? So we wanted to come up with our own unique thing. And I gotta give like some credit to, My Name Toys. He did this monthly battle royal with a championship and stuff. So we kind of saw that concept and we thought, what could we do with a title if we do like weekly matches and center it all around this title? And then ever since that, it's kind of just grown and expanded into what it is today.
Yeah, well, dude, all your matches have been amazing. The storytelling is something that I think not every big fight has, like to that can connect with the people and can make people wait for the other episode. I think that's very
Yeah.
important. So I think that you do all that very well. But let's talk about your mania. You did a WrestleMania show, your first show,
Yep.
and I can say thank you for including me there on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the help. Really appreciate that.
Don't worry, mate. But tell me, how did you came with this idea for making a big show when you
Mm,
all your channel has been with only one match? How did you
yeah.
came with this?
Yeah, so basically, I was always, wondering like you see other fetters out there and you see all these WrestleManias that they do. And I always thought, like, if I had a chance to do a WrestleMania, I would really want to make it like this grand spectacle and go all out in the arena and stuff. I saw all these other people. I know, like My Name Toys. I was expecting him to kind of do that, what I, had envisioned. But he's not really focusing on the Fed right now. So I see all these other Fedders, and I just said, you know what? Nobody's really made a WrestleMania how I would envision like an action figure WrestleMania. So I thought, why not just do it myself and have? I think maybe this might be a one-off. We'll have to wait and see, but. I wanted to go all out and do something for my fans that had never been done before on the channel and put together a full show. And I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. I watched every match. Dude, I want to know. I have a question. You in
Yeah.
particular manage only one story, one rivalry at a time, but in this
Yeah.
you had to do like seven, six rivalries. So
Yeah.
how you came with manage everything so people don't disconnect from the channel? How was this challenge?
Yeah, with the WSC hardcore titles and stuff centering around one title, not having a show, you have to find unique ways to kind of develop the stories and connect each video to each other. So we basically did it through like all the hardcore kind of championship matches. CM Punk and me kind of developed that through a hardcore championship match video. And we do some extra videos with promos, a lot more for this WrestleMania, and you can expect that to continue going after WrestleMania. But yeah, I just knew the matches that I wanted to do, and I tried to find a way to get some promos or angles and stuff like that, and try and connect everything together to set these things up. So I just tried my best to piece
Yeah,
everything together.
dude, it came out great. Another thing I want to know is the biggest challenge from the project. Like in general, it can be building the stage or anything. The biggest challenge.
Mm. Oh, well, with this WrestleMania, with the Deadly Games, right? So we used to do that on the floor in my normal studio, which I'm in right now. But now we've got like a table set up. So Deadly Games would be too tall to be on this table, right? So we wouldn't be able to do it. So we wanted to do it in a different room. So that's where WrestleMania took place. It was in a different room. We created it on a bed because I like the stability of like a kind of tabletop. But that was a bad mistake. I mean, we couldn't really take away. I couldn't really tear the bed down anyways to get it out of the way. But so we basically did on this tabletop, like this bed, and it was really hard to film on it. It was this, you couldn't get your legs under it, so you couldn't like get really close to the ring. So I had to like crouch on my feet and on my toes and stuff, and like reach across because the ring was so far away from where I was. So it was really bad on the knees and the ankles and all that. So never doing that again. But but yeah, it was really tough to actually film on that setup. So I'm very happy to be back in this table setup on this chair and filming like I usually do now. So
Yeah. So you used to film on the floor, right?
I did, but it was a lot easier than doing it on that bed that I did for WrestleMania, because you're on the floor, you can get in any comfortable position you want and reach the figures. You can sit right up to the ring if you want to. In there, you couldn't. Like the table and the bed was really obstructing everything. So
Like
I had to
a
get in
real
weird,
table.
awkward positions. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
bad, man.
how did your back like resisted filming on the floor, dude? I remember I played with my toys, with my wrestling figures on the floor for all my life when I
Yeah.
was younger, and my back was killing me, my legs were killing me. How did you make videos? They're like,
Oh man. When I was in there on the floor, I think I've made videos on it, but like when I made that transition to the table. But man, it was really tough because I had this really tight space. I was stuck between two lights, sitting up against the wall. I would come in, I would have to close the arena just to enclose the arena while I was in there. So I'm basically stuck in there just filming. And it was a fun time. Like I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not the most ideal position. But again, WrestleMania was was way worse than filming on the floor was. But on the table is definitely the way to go for any
so,
fetters out there.
so if you want to film another deadly games, you will have to figure out a
it,
new formula, dude.
it has to be on the floor, no
Yeah.
bed or anything.
Oh,
But we never really tried to see how it'd be on a table, so we could have a look at that.
yeah.
But yeah, it definitely have to be strictly on the floor, no other ways about it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like, oh my respects for filming that on the little bed. you know,
Yeah.
I want to know your experience because I'm going to tell you mine first. When I it started with me playing with some wrestling figures on the floor, and then I used to tell, "Hey, Dad, I'm seeing everybody has their stage. How we can do it too, so I can have my stage." And my dad is my number one supporter here. He has helped me a lot because he knows how to build things. He taught me everything about designing. So he He helped me with the stage. We put the iPad, I remember. Then
Hmm.
I said, "Oh, everybody has a crowd," and he helped me doing the crowd. And
So when did you get into action figures and stuff?
it was pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was like I'm tired on playing on the floor. And then in this same table, like a desk, a working desk, I put all my figures here. I bought a cloth, a black cloth, and that's my ringside mat. Okay, then my entrance that my dad helped me build, my ring, and my crowd that I used to have like a little crowd, and I put
Hmm.
a black paper on the other side to cover everything. So all started there, and I told my dad, "Oh, what about we create an Instagram page?" And I didn't knew like photography like
Yeah.
was a thing. And we started, and I remember it was a spear, Bobby Lashley spear, Jeff Hardy. And dude, my first picture has the strings right there,
Yeah.
and my dad told me, "Oh, what about we put some colors? If somebody can scroll down and check that thing and that picture is Bobby Lashley doing a spear with the strings and with some colors." And then my dad helped me. "Oh, you design like this. You use this tool like this." And that was summer here. Summer ends, and my dad has to go to work again, and I was just all by myself with all the
Hmm.
Photoshop that I have learned. Yeah, I was by myself. I improved my skills, and then when Nitro Fix, well, now it's Nitro FGC, became a thing, I started making some money of the commissions of the designs, and growing in followers. I told my dad, "Mom and Dad, I can't work here on my desk. Um, that this is my desk that I have supposed to use to university to study to everything."
Hmm.
And we had a room that was like abandoned, like it had a bed, and just stuff like, yeah, all the stuff that didn't have like a space to be, that was a room. So they
Hmm.
said to me, "If you want it, you clean it." Oh, I was
Yeah.
cleaning all that room, dude. It was dusty as hell because here in Peru, dude, it's dusty as hell.
It's
So
dusty here too.
oh yeah, oh, the cleaning days, dude. And yeah,
Yeah.
we put out the bed. That was a challenge. And then we
Yeah. Same thing with me back in 2015. This used to be a bedroom too. I had to ask my parents to get rid of the bed so I can do all this.
yeah,
Thankfully, they allowed me to. Yeah.
it's like the same story, dude. And then
Yeah.
I found we go like a Home Depot, something like that here. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like where you get all the home stuff. And somebody there, we asked it, it's possible to have like a big wood with a big wood piece. I have all the sizes, everything. And they said yes. They cut the wood, we bring it home, we put it there on the wall, and there it is, my new arena. I I steal my brother's TV, and I put
Hmm.
it there on my arena. Well,
Hmm.
he bought the new one. So yeah, that's my story.
Yeah.
Like, I imprinted a
Nice.
new crowd, and now, dude, I'm learning a lot from guys like Manny from Figure Kingdom, MBG, from photography. And if we talk about videos, seeing your videos helped me a lot of all the big feds, so I can know like what I'm doing wrong and I can improve. So
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think that the science gives me a plus too. But now let's not talk about me. What about you? Now tell me your story, Nathan.
My story. Well, basically, I started it was called WWE underscore stage underscore creator on Instagram in 2014. So I started all the way back then, which it doesn't seem that long to me, but it's probably a long time. And basically, I was making stages and I saw other people on Instagram making them, and I thought, why not post my own? And I did that and started gaining traction, and people started to enjoy it. So it motivated me more and more to keep making them. And then I started posting figure photos with it, and that started gaining traction too. And uh, I started getting more and more followers, and the more people supported me, it motivated me more to get better at it and stuff. And then by 2018, I was at maybe 80,000 on Instagram, and I saw like Wrestling Hero Figs and My Damn Toys were like blowing up on YouTube. And I thought, they're getting paid to do it too. So I was like, wow, these guys get to do what they love and they get paid to do it as well. Like, that's a great gig. I should move over to YouTube. People have been telling me I should move to YouTube as well. So I went over there and I just had to figure out, what would I be good at? What would be best for me? I tried copying people and doing same thing, but that never works. Like, you can't do what somebody else is doing and try to expect to be better than them or surpass them or anything. So yeah, that kind of failed, and I kind of figured out, what I was good at and innovated my own style. And yeah, it just took off and grew from there. And here we are today doing an interview with Nitro Figs.
Oh, like who could have tell like a guy from Peru and Australia will be connected by the wrestling toys community?
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
wild.
So I want to know. I don't think so, but WC it is in your job, right?
Yeah, it's the job.
It's your job.
Yeah.
Wow, dude! Like that's like a goal. That has to be like your biggest goal. Like
Yeah, for sure.
becomes a goal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ever since 2019, it's been my job.
Yeah, that was like the boom, right? It has to be.
Oh, 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it kind of took off, and yeah, it's just been great ever since then.
Did you ever like in your YouTube, like in your WC hardcore show, era, did you have ever felt like you don't have more motivation? Like felt like this is all over. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Well, because it is a job, also that kind of motivates you a bit more. If you weren't getting rewarded for your efforts, I could totally see people like being demotivated and like saying what's the point of it, because if you're just doing it as a hobby, it's like it could be very mentally taxing. But yeah, certainly when I was doing more of a pick fed kind of style, it's just very time consuming.
Yes.
And it's just like, man, you don't feel like you're progressing as much every day as you want to be. So yes, sometimes that could be very like demotivating and stuff like that, and you wouldn't feel like filming. Every time I start a project, it's like it's always hard to get started, but once you're in, then you're going hard at it. But yeah, the start of a project is always the hardest part for me, especially. Yeah.
Yes, I can. I'm with you in that idea. So maybe the last question here, talking about figures, I really want to know how much does it take you to film how much time does it take you to film a match? Because for me, it takes me like a lot of time plus the daily things like go to study, doing the home stuff, plus filming, plus doing content for Instagram. Like for me, it took a while, but I think for you, it takes like 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it is honestly a full-time worth of work, like of a job. So yeah, for people balancing other things and stuff, like I give mad props to those people doing that. But yeah, for me, I would say probably nowadays, probably about 1 to 2 weeks. But at one point, like the No Mercy match with with John Moxley and Roman Reigns, that took me a month to make. Like that was
crazy. They even went to the street. I remember.
Yeah.
You text me and told me, oh, I need this photo with. Can you put it a sky on there? And I was like,
yes.
What happened, dude? What happened? Then I saw the match, and oh man. Oh, I also remember the HBK Triple H match. That was long too.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite matches. But yeah, I think it took longer, definitely more time consuming to do like the the pick fed kind of just like posing and take the shot and stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably more time consuming. I did a lot more of that on the No Mercy match, I'd say. So that's probably why it took so long. I remember the Royal Rumble, Hardcore Royal Rumble 2021. I don't know why, I was just like making myself do stop motion on it. and that took me like over a month to make that whole match because I was just very focused on doing stop motion and
Rumbles take a lot of time.
They do, yeah. They take a lot of time.
I remember my first ever video was I went all in for that. My first video is 2021, I think, prediction Royal Rumble match. That was my first ever
Oh
match.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Dude, and I remember like I was in my mind I had all the time on the world. In my mind it was, oh, tomorrow night start. And my mom comes to my room and said, next week we go to the beach because January here is summer. Oh, next we go to the beach. And I was like, oh, so I have 7 days to film, no, to plan, to film, to edit a 30 long minutes video. Dude,
yeah.
I was waking 5 a.m., going to bed 2 a.m., and that was a routine. Dude, I went to the beach with all my friends. Hey, what's up, everybody? Like, I seated on the couch and I was like this, dude. I was destroyed.
Oh, man.
I was destroyed. So yeah, but I did it, and it was worth it because it has a lot of views, and that's like something that it tells you that people love it, So
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, I love the dedication on that.
Yeah.
I've done my fair share of 24-hour days, work days of like filming and editing all day, all night. I try not to do that anymore just to be more sustainable. And yeah, I try not to, but I've done those in the past. But yeah, I love the grind on that. For anyone out there doing, where vid fed, pick fed, stop motion, everybody working hard at this stuff, I really appreciate everybody who's on the grind like that.
Yeah, dude, like it's a hard hobby. Expensive and hard hobby. So, well, I want to ask you something. So, when you plan WrestleMania, WSC Mania, do you think like it for you it was like as it fulfilled your expectations? They were higher, lower?
As a full show, I think so. I mean, with the thing is when I started filming it, something that I realized about doing full shows with WSC in my normal matches, because I usually go one match at a time, one project at a time, I'm used to going all out on every video. But with a full show, you can't really go all out on every match. There's limitations. You do something, if you got something planned later in the night, you can't do it earlier in the night. You gotta, you can't go all out on every single match because it's going to diminish, something's going to happen. Yeah, it's a balance, and I wasn't used to that. And it wasn't as fun because I had some shackles on me like that. So I'm not really super big on the full show kind of concept as I am like being focused one video at a time, one match at a time. But as a full show, I really enjoyed what I've done with it.
So I can imagine that in the process you felt kind of frustrated.
Not frustrated, but like you could, like, the certain things you could do to make it like way better of a match, and you can't do it. And also there was like a deadline to getting it all done before WrestleMania 39 when I would leave for my holiday. And yeah, so there was a lot of things going on and a lot of things to consider when making all these matches.
Yeah, dude, like they were great. But now let's talk about the real WrestleMania.
Sure.
This was your first live Mania, right?
Yeah.
So how was it from beginning to the end?
It was great. I had a lot of fun. Having Danny there, meeting him
It's
in real life, it was great. Yeah, and both of us together, like our energy was really good. He was like commentating the whole thing, like he was shouting off my ear, bro. Like he was destroying my ear, like yelling and stuff. But it was great. We were both like getting up out of our chair and uh, screaming our heads off and enjoying the show. Everything you saw in the reaction video, it was that and even more. So yeah, it was a great time. Had a lot of fun
Yeah,
at
so
WrestleMania.
how was your weekend? You went to a SmackDown Hall of Fame or no?
No, we didn't go to SmackDown. We went to the Superstore. That was like the major focus of the day. That was when we met like Grim and
Oh, I saw
MDT
a picture.
and all that. Yeah.
Was that planned? It wasn't, right? Or
Well, I was messaging Grim and I was saying like we should meet up and MDT too. We were planning to collab. We did the draft video and stuff. So it just so happened that they would all be there that day, which was great because that was like the only time we went to the Superstore that weekend. So all of us getting together, it was great. It was awesome.
yeah, dude, like I saw and it had to be a really, really good experience. In my experience, Mania was great. I have only saw like I was only on the live events they did here in Peru. So
Yeah.
going from that to WrestleMania, you enter the stadium,
Mm.
atmosphere. Wow, it was great. Like when WrestleMania ended, I was like there, like I don't want to go. Like I didn't want to
Mm.
return home. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you went to the superstore. You saw the figures there.
I did. I saw the figures there. Some good looking figures.
Yeah. So do you have like some fun story from WrestleMania that you can tell to the people, or some
Funny
interesting
story.
story? Like you were with Danny. I think that some funny story had to happen.
Mm. I don't know. Nothing like nothing too. The only funny thing is that like we were at the Universal and we were trying to get a photo with Shrek because Shrek, the multiversal
Oh yeah.
champion, you know, and he just kept ducking us. Like every
No.
time we line up, like the line's closed, and all we
Oh,
could get is him like running away.
Greg.
It's just like what the hell? We went there like specifically to get a photo with Shrek, and we failed.
And now that will just wish Shrek good luck on his future projects. So well, man, that WrestleMania is always a great experience and
Yeah.
first time. So now to be ending here this interview, uh, what is an advice like for anybody that has this goal to like live on his job, like your work is your hobby. So maybe some advice to some guys that are there rooting for that.
Some advice would be that you, like I said earlier in the video, you can't really expect to, you know, get to the top or wherever you want to be, or like surpass. Say like MDT. Like at the start, I was trying to be like MDT in Hero, and it wouldn't work because you can't get to where someone is by trying to be them and do what they do. I think the next person who's gonna come up in this figure game is gonna have to do something that's, you know, never been done before, something that's innovative, something that's new, and that only they can bring to the table. So I would just say to anybody to really be creative and come up with something that's unique to you and bring something new to the table. I think that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, dude, like I think so. Like I have been doing videos out there and I haven't like figured out that formula. I'm just doing matches on my channel, call it the fantasy person.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's a good advice. And I think that if you want to be someone, on any industry and the community, you have to be different. Like, why does people have to watch you? And that's the
Yeah.
question. So, well, Nathan, you know that at the end, always, well, my guests have to make me a question. So,
Hmm.
tell me.
Okay. There's a few things I could ask you, but here's one specific to this interview and me. What is your favorite WSC match?
Double favorite WSC match. Like favorite and storytelling. I think that the Roman Joker. Like,
Roman and the No Mercy match?
yeah, like
Yeah.
that match that they went to the metro station and do some
Mhm.
crazy stuff. You know why? Because those are those characters that had a story. Then you brought
Mm.
a character that it's new. Like that character is amazing. It's like a crazy John Moxley version that is yours. So you
Yeah.
play with that, with the version of John Moxley, having that story with Roman being invincible, and all this story that you can tell from them. Also, the match I always remember is the HBK Triple H, and it's the same. They have
Yeah.
a story, and you like exploded that. You really took that advantage. So for me, I really admire that your capacity, your ability to make a storytelling. And I'm sure if you want to do like an Iron Man match, 1 hour match, you can do it with a great storytelling. So
Thank you. Appreciate that.
don't worry, brother. Okay, so now it's time for the people's question. We only have one question, and it's from Danny Cast 07. So Nathan, what is the most annoying thing about pig feds?
Pick feds, I don't know if what do you think he means? Watching them or making them?
I think making them, right?
Making them. I think it's just the most like it's very time consuming, and I mean it's not super difficult except for when the figures fall over and stuff, but I think it's just how time consuming it is and mentally taxing it can be. I think that's the most annoying parts of it.
Yeah, it has to be like it's a very it's a hobby that needs a lot of details, I think. So
Yeah.
that can be very, very annoying. So well, thank you for being here. Like this has been one of the interviews I've always wanted to do. So Nathan, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, see you everybody.